All right, folks, good morning. Let's get airborne with our primary live trade brief. Got a packed schedule today. Got a call I got to be on, so we'll cut this one at about the 45-minute point. If that, some admin items, let's move the weekly options brief, I think, to a 1 tomorrow. I got going out and doing a division or 4-ship if you're an Air Force guy or gal. Photo shoot tomorrow, 4 of us and a citation jet doing a photo shoot, and those guys are down in the Keys, and then they're flying to the Cayman Islands to do an air show. So I'll pitch out of the formation, come back and land, and we'll do our weekly options brief. So brief tomorrow morning has slid to tomorrow afternoon. What else is going on? I think that's good for admin. All right. Really interesting developments in China. If you guys remember years ago, pre-COVID, was it 2020, 2019? Remember the whole, Hong Kong protests? And I ripped, not that he cares, but I would criticize Trump when he sucked, and he was awful at the beginning of the of the Hong Kong protests. Everybody remember this? Xi's a buddy. I'm not going to tell Xi what to do. Hong Kong's part of China now. You know that, right? I'm like, are you fucking stupid? These people are running around in Hong Kong demanding freedom. They're spray painting "Give me liberty" or "Give me death" on the walls. Some of them are wearing MAGA hats. They're running around with American flags, and you can't support these people. And then weeks, I think it took later, he kind of softened his stance, and, they should sit down and talk. He still never went with a full-throated defense of these Hong Kong protesters. And look what happened, right? We know where COVID started. I know where COVID started. In a weapons lab. And hey, man, if you want to take over an island, or if you want to take over Hong Kong without firing a shot, how do you do it? Oh, you get the people sick. Okay. Got out before they had the antidote or the vaccine or whatever, which they still kind of don't. Here's what I'm getting at. Yesterday, John Kirby, who's just an awful human being, he went from the Pentagon press secretary to, I guess, the White House, or I don't know, him and Jean-Claude Van Damme, what their relationship is, or he's the national security press secretary. I don't know. But in a press conference yesterday, asked, hey, what's the president think about all these, people demanding freedom in China? Yeah, we don't have any comment on that. What? Well, we support any people to peacefully protest. And that was it. So these people are burning to death. It's a horror what's going on in China right now. And the State Department, the White House, Joe Biden's position is, yeah, that's it. It's insane. It's not insane because they're cowards. You look at, where's LeBron James? Where's the NBA commissioner? Where's Steve Kerr, right? All these people who make a shit pot of money in China ain't saying a word. And it's really interesting that yesterday or last night or whenever it was, somebody's like, well, Apple might pull Twitter off the App Store or off its phones. Are you insane? So Apple has an absolute problem with people speaking freely in America, but at the same time, bending over backwards to help their Chinese overlords. Did you see that Apple turned off AirDrop capability on their iPhones in China because people were using it to send stuff back and forth or arrange protests and everything like that? Are we in bizarro world? Just like Barack Hussein Obama failed in, 2013 with the Green Revolution in Iran? We're supposed to be, Ronald Reagan is literally doing aileron rolls in his grave. We're supposed to be the country that stands for freedom and democracy and human rights and everything like that. Well, no, not if you listen to the NBA people. How can we lecture China on human rights when our own human rights is awful? Are you people insane? We are the freest, best country on the planet. Oh, but we're pretty bad too. Okay. I can't. It's insane. Police use data from mobile phones to track down people who participate. Oh, Apple helping the Chinese government kill people. But Elon Musk letting people. It's so funny with the whole Elon Musk is letting Nazis back on Twitter. Where? I look at Twitter every day, ain't seen one Nazi. Actually, I have seen Nazis, but it's not the people who they think they are. It's actually the people who are screaming Nazis. The book burners are the Nazis, folks. But anyway, it's insane to watch what's going on in China and the United States. Our position, Why? Because that's what they wanted here. We wanted lockdown. They wanted lockdowns. They wanted the ability to track people. Remember at one point it was like, well, you can see on this app who has vaccinations around you. And if you can see the unclean, if they're unvaccinated, avoid those people. You can't make this shit up. So maybe John Kirby, who's a coward, just didn't say anything yesterday because they kind of don't have problems with what the Chinese government's doing. There you go. Here, they're trying to exit this COVID zero policy because it's physically impossible. Who the fuck is in charge in China? Why don't we lock people up in their apartment buildings? What if there's a fire? They're Chinese. We don't care. Oh my God, all those people burnt to death. It's for the greater good of the state. I'm telling you, man, thank God for the Second Amendment. I do thank God for the Second Amendment. Actually, I don't thank God because God gave us all of this stuff, the right to defend ourselves. That piece of paper, the Constitution, is a list of, it's a permission slip for who? Not for me. It's a permission slip for the fucking government. All these farmers and ranchers and all these guys and gals who settled this country, they're like, you know what? Maybe we should have some form of government so we're all not like kind of crazy. Let's agree to limit the government. Their faces would melt if they saw this country today. Where's your fishing license? Excuse me? Benjamin, get the musket. I need a license to fish. Anyway, I don't want to drop anchor here, but I will drop anchor here a little bit. Why? Do you see the FXI today? The FXI, nice 5% pop. We are long the FXI. I hate this trade, but who cares? Like Gordon Gekko says, you want a friend, get a dog. I'm going to teach you how to make money. Get long. Is everybody long the FXI like I told you to get long the FXI? Give me a vertical head nod. Does everybody have their synthetic stock on? This was the place to buy it, where we bought it. Does anybody need help getting bullish on China? I can't stand that. You guys know. Look at this. I told you. We're at 14-year lows on the FXI. Does anybody in this room, especially since the United States doesn't support it, does anybody think China is going to fail? Like Xi Jinping is going to get overthrown and, that China fails? Of course not. China is the world's #1 largest economy, in my opinion. We can look at numbers and stuff like that, but it doesn't matter. China's in this for the long haul. What are they doing with this kind of like, all right, did you see what happened last night? The Chinese vaccine announcement, like overnight. Okay. I was watching my son's hockey game last night. I'm like, oh my God, man, I'm going to slam FXI into the dirt. I'm still bullish, but I'm going to slam it into the dirt. Wake up this morning drinking my coffee. Chinese government health experts made an unscheduled overnight announcement in which they vowed not only to speed up the COVID shots for the elderly, but avoid excessive restrictions, like being welded shut in your apartment building and burning to death. So, ladies and gentlemen, again, this is a hold your nose trade. Told you how I feel about China. I would love for them to fail, but not the Chinese people, right? The dictatorship, Xi Jinping, who's listening to this brief, which I'm sure YouTube will censor. But folks, get your FXI on, get long-term bullish, because this is going to recover. What's our strike price at FXI? Because it's in a different portfolio, the 27 strike. So if you're new, I know we got some Black Friday people in here. Welcome aboard. This is the long-term bullish position on China. Watch the replay. Put this trade on. I would, but I wouldn't use this strike. What do we have? The 27 strike? What's FXI at right now? Oh, well, there you go. Welcome to Top Gun Options. This is the exact trade that I would put on today to be long-term bullish in China. Okay. So, yeah, exactly. So we had a little bit. This is probably where we put it on. It gave a little back, and now we're back to where we are. But listen to me, folks. This is Xi Jinping is no idiot. The Chinese Communist Party, I've told you this for years. They have a pretty damn good throttle, and I'm saying this as a Gordon Gekko, not as Wiz. As Gordon Gekko, I'm like, they're brilliant. They have the right amount of throttle, freedom versus dictatorship. Richard Nixon, he did in his heart, he had the best of intentions when he jumped on that 707 big old jet airliner, went to China. If we open up China and show them capitalism, they will become democratic people, not Democrats. Actually, they are Democrats the way they're treating people right now. What happened? They're like, yeah, we kind of like this making money thing, but we still like dictatorship. So we have a throttle. Let's give the people just enough, and then crack it back. So this is what you're seeing. Lot of rambling going on, but this makes perfect sense. Markets cheer. Vaccine drive announcement clearing path towards reopening. Here's what's really funny, folks, is looking at our financial media. Why did the market pull back yesterday? I love when the market pulls back and the people who work at CNBC or the Wall Street Journal, who are, quote, journalists but don't actually trade, they have to find a reason. It can't be just technical or, we're overbought and a lot of big funds are getting out and taking profits. It can't be that. Let's find a reason. So yesterday it was all these lockdowns in China, the market's going down and oil's going down. That made no sense to me. So anyway, please put screenshot. Oh, Barry, scroll up. I just gave you the link to the post. That's the trade. Just click on the link in the chat box I just put up there, and it'll take you to this page with the trade. Or it's up right now. Click your little camera thing at the top of the window here, and there's your screenshot. So isn't it funny, though? Folks, what did I tell you yesterday? I said, copy this and paste it right here. This is this. And that's exactly what happened and is going to happen. Rip your face off rally with through the 50, the 100, kiss the 200, and epic fail. Rip your face off rally through the 50, the 100, kiss the 200, epic fail. This ain't rocket surgery, folks. Okay, so there's your China brief. The United States of America is a disgrace. If our leadership, if John Kirby, speaking on behalf of Joe Biden, which clearly he does since Joe Biden can't speak for Joe Biden, is saying that we have essentially no comments on the democracy protest in China, we're a disgrace. That's it's such a funny term, right? The bully pulpit. Remember when Barack Hussein Obama had the opportunity? If we just, it can be words, right? According to liberals and Democrats now, words are actual violence. So, I love that I'm allowed to speak freely now on Twitter without fear of losing my fifth account. Here's what I'm talking about, because a lot of people are like, oh, there's hate speech back on Twitter. Listen to me. There is no such thing as hate speech. There is no such thing as misinformation. There is only speech and there is only information. If you hate it or you think it's false, that's on you. How dare you try and foist that on other people? I can't, 10, 15 years ago, whenever this country got on this whole hate crime bandwagon. So let me get this straight. If a guy bursts into a bar and shoots a bunch of people, but I'm a homosexual, my death is more important than the other people he murdered. I don't. First of all, most crimes are hate crime. Every crime's a hate crime, technically, right? But whatever. I'm on a tangent here. It cracks me up what's going on lately. Whether it's in China, Apple threatening Elon Musk. We stopped. So here's what's funny. Apple stopped advertising on Twitter because we're evaluating what's going on this platform. But fucking Apple and all these liberals and Democrats didn't have problems for years silencing people like me. They didn't have problems advertising on Twitter for years with the Taliban, Iran, Hamas, and the CCP. I have no problem advertising with a country that says death to America and we want to kill all Americans. Israel shouldn't exist. We love killing Israelis on a daily basis. That's okay on Twitter. But me? Isn't it gross? These people are just gross. I love Elon Musk. I love him turning on the lights in the kitchen and showing the hypocrisy. Anyway, we move on. Well, here it is. Apple threatens to ban Twitter from the App Store. Won't say why. Isn't this funny? I will get rid of this phone in a heartbeat. I cannot. I'll go back to my Android. If Apple does that, how dare are you? This is the power that companies have, right? This is the same Apple when the San Bernardino Islamic Muslim killer was mowing people down. The FBI is like, hey, man, open up this iPhone. There's a terrorist killing people. We need to see who his contacts are and try and save American lives. No, we're not going to open his iPhone because of customer privacy rights. Okay, but in China, you completely are on the side of the government and give the government all the data on all their citizens. Anyway, I can't stand Apple. I can't stand these limousine liberal hypocrites. I can't wait for Elon Musk to come out with his own phone. That's where this is going. Starlink, baby, Elon Musk phone. I'll buy 1,000 of them. I love this. I cannot wait for Elon Musk to release what he is calling the Twitter files. Wait until he dumps on this country all the discussions with the Hunter Biden laptop. I am an election interference guy. Remember, Democrats are the original election interference people. Nancy Pelosi's famous tweet, 2016 election. This is not a valid election. It's compromised. Trump is not a legitimate president. But 2020 was the most secure election ever. But ladies and gentlemen, them suppressing this story, they booted, who was it? The New York Post? They blocked their Twitter account weeks before the election. This is the election interference, folks. 51 former intelligence officers say that this is Russian disinformation. There's a reckoning coming in this country, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know how you... I forgive, but I don't forget, right? I forgive these people. Remember last month? We need a COVID amnesty. They're not saying we were wrong and we're sorry. We're just saying you guys need to forget about us getting you fired. If the government can force you to put something in your body against your will, what can't it do? No, we're going to forget. We did you see Fauci's deposition the other day? 8 hour deposition. I think he said, I can't remember, I don't know, or that's out of context, a million times. They never thought a reckoning would come, folks. They never thought the Republicans would, well, they took the House. That was about it. And they never thought Elon Musk would take over. I love the fact that he walked in and fired half the workforce, and Twitter's operating and they're registering more users. Not seeing any Nazis running around, but maybe I'm just not looking hard enough. Isn't that funny? Secretary of Defense Austin. My first act as the Secretary of Defense isn't to increase readiness, kill our enemies, or any of that. It's going to be to root out extremism in the ranks. Out of 2.4 million people, how much did you find? 100? Moving on. They are who we say. Exactly. They were who we thought they were. This is awful. It's getting worse. It was never about Ukraine. It was always about U.S. defense contractors. Ukraine actually at the beginning was like, you know what, let's talk, until somebody got in their ear and said, no, you can fight and win this. Okay. You can get a Nobel Peace Prize. You can be on the cover of Vogue or Vanity Fair, whatever it was. We talked about this yesterday, not to beat a dead horse. I talked to a buddy last night. He's like, dude, you wouldn't believe how guy works in a big building up somewhere. He's like, it is insane. We're out of weapons. And if we got attacked, you know what we'd have to do today? If we had Red Dawn, let's just go with Patrick Swayze, the original Red Dawn, the best movie ever made. The only time I enjoyed listening to an F-15 Eagle pilot. Lieutenant Colonel Andrew Tanner, U.S. Air Force. It was 5-1. I got 4. We would lose. We would be forced to, I knew Sledge was going to roll in there. Here comes the Eagle, guys and gal. Where's Arrow? The Air Force is barely on our side, folks. I mean, let's be honest. But we'd have to nuke. If we were attacked, this guy's like, dude, we have nothing left. Our first response would have to be a nuke. Air superiority. We're done with crypto. It's a joke. Somebody went bankrupt yesterday too. The other one? Who's the other one that somebody just went bankrupt again, or somebody else? I'm done. I'm done. It's comical. I'm done. Another exchange went bankrupt. I think Binance is the only one. Yeah, 104-0. They always got to bring that up. Good point. Whatever exchange. It's a house of cards. Let's leave the discussion at crypto with this. I promise, unless some more big stupidity happens, it's all stupid, but unless some bigger stupidity. Invest if Bitcoin and who's number 2? What's the gold, silver, and bronze? Bitcoin, I don't even know. Bitcoin and whatever. Invest an amount of money where you don't mind lighting it on fire and having a glass of champagne. Just do it. Ethereum. What's the third one? My JetBlue guy was, what's the other one? A year ago, he's like Solana. But Solana, isn't that the FTX one? He made up. I thought the Afro disheveled nerd guy made up that coin too. I don't even know. Yeah, Doge. Anyway, well, let's move on. Crypto, joke, and it's imploding. Litecoin? I don't even know. Isn't this funny, folks? That we could all get together and make TGO coin. We all decide it's worth $1 billion, and then we don't, and it goes to 0. Yeah, Graham, that came out recently. There's a couple F-35 stealth fighter parts that are Chinese, but whatever. Oil rises as China concerns these. So we have in this portfolio, we have COP, right? ConocoPhillips. Look at FXI, man. Wow. So COP was a pre-election trade. Oil's kind of why do we get a little hammered? Cardano. Yeah, I love the names. Solana, Cardano. Let's just sit in a room with a whiteboard and make up names and say it's a coin and it has value. It's an actual coin, though. No, it's just computer code. Okay, I got it. Yeah, Wiz. Screw you. Let's go with the Wiz coins. Oh my God, man. Oh my God, the NFT. What was it? The Bored Ape or Stoned Ape? 2.4 million bucks. I think it's like a couple $100 now. I swear, guys, I felt bad at the time because I'm like, I'm clearly an idiot. I thought I'm kind of hip and cool and up on technology and stuff, but they're selling JPEGs. What? Yeah, but it's this JPEG and it's special. Okay. I'm not going. What's going on in Miami right now? Art Basel. Do you guys remember a couple years ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago? He did it as a joke, but it ended up being real. A dude like taped a banana to the wall in Miami. And I think didn't somebody buy it for like $1 million? I love it. I love it. Oh yeah, Christine. What happened? Was this like COVID? Did everybody get stupid? Maybe it was COVID that made everybody dumb. That was another thing I missed out on, Christine. JP Morgan just bought a $50 million corner in cyberspace. What? No, it's a thing. I don't understand it. That's because you're old and stupid. No? Oh, that the shredder thing was cool. That was really cool. Yeah, Dogecoin was started as a joke, folks. It actually ended up having some value or something. I forget what happened with Dogecoin. You guys know where I am with all this stuff because when my Facebook thread was filled with people who I know don't invest or don't have a lot of money, we're pumping this stuff. Oh, I feel bad. Well, whatever. Hey, man, what's the saying? A fool and their money are soon parted. But the beginning of that sentence is a fool and their money should have never been together anyway. Yeah, exactly. There you go, Andrew. That's my man. That's exactly right. Dogecoin. I'm up 2 cents. Does that still trade? I don't even know, man. All right, let's go. I don't want to let's talk long-term trades where we are. ConocoPhillips market just turned around. Hey, keep an eye, before I forget, keep an eye on this. My VIX calls at the open this morning were up $800, but now the market turned around. They're flat. I'm holding on to these folks. For all the new folks, I'm long 50 of the DEES 27 calls. We got to talk about volatility because this is creepy. Look at this. Let's do the 1 year chart. And you know what's coming, folks. This wasn't even extended. Look at the beginning. So look at the beginning of last year or this year. Sorry. We're getting ready to turn the page with another calendar, but look at the chop at the beginning of this year. Then what happened? Extended periods of nothing can happen. Whoa! Extended periods of nothing bad can. Whoa. No, Wiz, no. Everything's fine. Susie's podcast, episode 33, one of the highest ranked Max Afterburner podcasts. It's fine. It's always fine, but not with volatility. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you are new, you need to get some VIX on. Why? I don't know why. China, Iran. Oh, shit. I have a freaking podcast at 1 o'clock with a guy in England. How did I schedule that when we're supposed to be playing Iran? Hold on. I have to reschedule that. All right. I'll do that quickly. What's this video? Did you do that, Sledge? You did that podcast? What's this video? Click on YouTube here. I don't think I can play it in here. Click on the link in here, guys. I'll save this. I'll watch it later. Oh, good. Yeah, I know Slider did. All right, guys. I'm getting scattered here because let's get unscattered. VIX. Buy some VIX calls. Which ones? I got the 27s. We did this a couple weeks ago. I think we put this on last week. We went out and we looked at upside calls. Let's do it again real quick for the new folks. Oh, and by the way, if you're new and you got some insanely Black Friday deal, no, you don't get access to the hunters. Are you insane? So there's your answer. How do you close this? Okay. There we go. Graham. You know, he's counting on Graham for some comedy relief. How do I close this damn? I don't want to see this. All right, whatever. So, folks, look at the 30 strike. Look at the 30 strike, folks. 370,000. I'm at the 27 strike, 90,000. The 28, so there. These could be part of spreads. Don't get me wrong, but folks, let's just go poor man's looking at volatility. There, a couple weeks out, mid-December, there's a lot of activity in upside calls on VIX. Period. A lot of people thinking that sometime out here, the VIX is going to be up here. Why? Don't know. This is why we do SOT, Strategic Operational Tactical. I gave you some strategic stuff. Looks like China might be cooling down a little bit. Ukraine still sucks. Going to get worse. Where was it? Morning coffee this morning on my cell phone. Didn't bring it up in here. Something about, what was this on? Reputable military website about there's some back channels from Russia recently going, hey guys, on the down low, we're not messing around with the nuke stuff. So again, this is always a potential threat, folks. A cornered Putin is not to be taken lightly. So I don't know why the VIX can go up, but and we don't have time to sit here, ladies and gentlemen. I don't have time to sit here and go, why'd the VIX pop each one of these times? Doesn't matter. It did. It does. It's a mean reverting instrument. When volatility is cheap, what do? You buy it. When volatility is expensive, you sell it. It doesn't get any more. There's your volatility lecture in 15 seconds. Vol's cheap, buy it. All right. Goose, very well said. All right, let's go with COP. I like the oil's going to rebound, China's reopening type of trade. What's our current position? We got into COP at the 130 strike. So obviously underwater a little bit. But again, when, a little bit, we're a synthetic stock at 130, it's at 126. So again, a little bit of a kind of like with FXI. But this is why, in these long-term bullish positions, you almost want to put like a yellow sticky over it. Like, forget about it, because we're all the way out into the future on this thing. I guarantee you, when Ron DeSantis wins the presidency, drill, baby, drill. So put that on your whiteboard of ideas or in your trade journal down the road. We're already starting. I mean, we already have a declared presidential candidate, Donald Trump. So the 2024 election is already starting. Joe Biden was up in Nantucket. He's not the man from Nantucket or wherever he was. Like, well, I'm talking with my family about running again. I'm begging you, Joe Biden, and I speak for all Americans, please run for re-election. Do you remember his debate with Donald Trump with the Adderall eyes and the Beavis and Butthead shaking? 4 years later, I would pay. I can't. I'm not even joking, but I can't. It's elder abuse at this point. Let's get some. You know what? I'm not going to put short calls on. I don't want to put a lid on this because I think we get a little bit of a run on oil. Let's have me stop squawking about stuff and put a trade on. I think Fetterman Biden should be the ticket. It's a no-brainer, right? I want a bull put spread. 122. And I'm going to start doing my more, instead of these like weekly trades all the time, let's open our radar search out a little bit more in primary. I know it's been in a volatile market, right? You got to be tactical. I love this one. I nailed it with my first try. Bull put spread. So in the primary portfolio, we're going to start letting our leash out a little bit. Why? Because things are starting to be known. Since January of this year, folks, I think I got to do my end of year reports and look at all my crap. It's been mainly sniper shots. It's been very rare. It's been very tactical trading, right? But now that we're settling in, I'm settling into its tactical trading. I got a good feel of what's going on, right? Joe Biden, you already heard my 23 prediction. Joe Biden's junior year will be a bigger recession, bigger shit show, bigger train wreck. Don't forget, let's do this bull put spread. Don't forget, tomorrow is a massive day. Another reason I'm comfortable with our Amazon bear call spread as a weekly trade is Jerome Powell tomorrow. I blew off yoga this morning to do my mastermind call, and word on the street is hawk. Now, they could be sandbagging. I trust the people that I talk to. I don't think they're sandbagging. They're doing their own, hey, I'm hearing from a guy, that Jerome's going to be hawkish tomorrow. Another one of his, I don't think you guys are listening to me. Inflation's pretty high. The jobs market is still, he can't say it's too strong. That's weird to say. He'll say it in his terms, obviously, but it'll be, what I'm hearing is it's a hawk. So we're going to get some volatility tomorrow. That's why keep an eye if you have those VIX calls on, or if you're putting some on right now, because we just talked about it. Keep an eye on your VIX calls. Tomorrow might be a good, if he puts some heat into the market, COP 1129. If he puts some sting into the market, we're going to get a little bit of a slam here. So look at this. He enjoys doing it. I don't know if he enjoys doing it, but remember Jackson Hole, and you're not listening to me. He used the P word, pain. Even though the American public didn't do this, actually the American public did do this. We apparently voted for Democrats to spend like drunken sailors. And I know what drunken sailors spend like. But I didn't elect Jerome Powell to sit there at home and hit enter on his computer and print money. So I think Jerome Powell ain't digging. Every time we've had one of these big ass runs, Jerome Powell has stepped in. He doesn't look at the market. Okay. I think Jerome definitely feels that we're probably over our ski tips a little bit with this. So, all right, bullish on COP. Let's go out a couple weeks. I think energy has a nice run. I'm going to sell 75 of the DEES. That's the regular December expiration. That's the third Friday in December. Can't believe we're in December already, man. 1, 2, 3. So it's the December 16 expiry. I know some of you trade on platforms where it actually puts the date. But on E-Trade, December 22 means December 16. Sell 75, DEES 22, 122 puts. I'm thinking oil gets a rally here and keeps rallying. Buy, in case I'm an idiot, distinct possibility, the 121 puts. 30 cents. Let's go about 2 cents wide. I'd go as low as 28. That's a wide bid ask, man. Go as low as 28, as high as 32. Let's talk about the bad first on this screen. 60. It says 30. 60 is where you'd maybe eject. I just double the credit that I take in. That's political science math. I would maybe eject at 30 cents. My commit criteria is China keeps opening, blah, blah, blah. I already rambled through my commit criteria, bullish on this. Risking my SOP is $5,000 for a $100,000 portfolio. 5%. It was 2.5% for a while when we were doing the insanity all over the place. Now I'm back to my, let's call it peacetime SOP. Wartime SOP was 2.5% of a $100,000 model portfolio in risk. I'm okay letting the leash out again. Risking 5 to potentially make, or risking 53 to potentially make 23. We make money 3 out of 4 ways in this trade. There's the current price of COP. COP can go up. COP can stay where it is and hover. COP can even go down a little bit as long as it stays above the break even, which is 121.70. Okay. Let me grab a screenshot of this. No, I wouldn't. Like I said, I wouldn't put on some, unless you do some pretty, yeah, we could do that. You could do some, especially with me thinking that Jerome is pretty hawkish tomorrow. We could do some calls, but some short calls to bring in income for the week. I was thinking oil does get a run, but not necessarily a really big run if Jerome comes in and says, how about some fire scarecrow? How many do we have? We have 5 contracts. This is already a big pop today. So I do the 128s. Excuse me. I'm going to sell 5 of the DEES 2 128s. After sitting here going, for what? It's against our long synthetic stock. If you're new, welcome aboard. Go watch the previous brief where we put on the COP long-term bullish Jan. How far out is that trade? Let me put these on. The current trade is the Jan 25s. So I am long-term bullish on the ConocoPhillips all the way out to Jan of 25. I love these synthetic stocks, folks. Before Joe Biden came in, remember, if you've been in TGO for a couple of years, man, we'd be doing JP Morgan. We'd have $100,000 trades over a couple of years with a Goldman Sachs, a JP Morgan, a CSX. Oh, man, I'm out of time. This is on, damn it. Completely blew off my kneeboard card, which is why I write shit down. Keep an eye on CSX. What? You heard me. We get over this rail strike bullshit with Joe Biden. I think the rails are going to rally. Not if. We are going to get over it because Joe Biden's Mr. Man of the People. I'm a blue collar union guy. I haven't talked CSX in a while, guys. And I know FedEx, we've talked about. When the FedEx CFO goes to a conference and tells I'm parking airplanes, and Maersk talks about reducing shipping schedules, it's tough to be bullish, quote unquote, on the transports right now. But I hate throwing trades out over my shoulder as I walk out of the room. Thank you. Good night. Try the veal. Look at a rail trade. Ain't no way Joe Biden and the Democrats are going to go into Christmas with a rail strike crippling. What is it? 30%? 30% of commerce in this country is by rail. So that's what I'm talking about, Kathy. I don't think there is going to be one. There isn't going to be a rail strike, folks. There's no way on God's green earth, Joe Biden I can't say no way because they're pretty stupid people. So, Kathy, that's a risk, but I'm telling you that this country shutting down people. Joe Biden his call sign's Amtrak. He's famous for I'd take Amtrak from Delaware every Monday and go back. He had his own little section on the Amtrak train. He's a rail guy. The risk is he fails, which is a high probability. So I hate throwing trade ideas as I leave. I forgot to brief the rail strike shit. So Brent nailed it. So Kathy gave a good red team. What if there's a rail strike? Brent just red teamed her red team. That ain't going to happen. Look at CSX. Maybe you do a short-term tactical bull put spread or buy some calls or something. But this is a potential trade, folks. Keep an eye on the rails. How did I come up with it? Oh, CSX was another one of our long-term bullish synthetic stock positions. It was in the background. Slow and steady wins the race, folks. This was the time period, man. We did CSX. I think I got out of it around COVID, right? We might redo the rail stuff. So there you go, Barry. See? Worth the price of admission. Look at CSX, guys. I got to go because I got to get ready for an 11 o'clock phone call. And I got to cancel that podcast so I can watch the U.S. beat up on Iran. All right, guys. I love you. I got to get going. Brief tomorrow is at 1, not 10, because I'm going flying tomorrow morning on a photo shoot. Okay? All right, guys. I'll send this out via text and email. And I'll also post the replay shortly. I forgot to put these trades in the Max Afterburner and the Hunter. Sorry about that. All right, guys. Have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge. I'll see you tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock. God bless. We'll see you.